Hello, I'm Rachel Jones for kalkinemedia. Welcome to another edition of Executive Corner Expert Talks. In this edition, I'll be speaking with Managing Director of Raiden Resources, Dusko Lebojevic. Raiden Resources is a copper, gold, nickel and PGE-focused mineral explorer with strategic land holdings in Eastern Europe and also the Pilbara region in Western Australia. Now, Dusko, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Now, very interested to see that gold prices recently crossed the $2,000 mark an ounce, only later to retrace to $1,900 an ounce levels. Now, what do you think will happen to gold prices in the near to long term?
I think that's the question everyone's trying to answer, but in the end, as an exploration company, we are more focused on trying to find the tier one deposit more than trying to predict whether the gold price will be at 2000 or 1900. That said, I think it's going to stick around at these levels. There is a fair amount of uncertainty, financial uncertainty in the markets as well as in the political landscape. So I think we're pretty safe with the gold price over the medium term where it's at, and it's a good gold price.
Absolutely. Now, if we could talk about the Mount Shoal project. So Raiden continues to expand its ground holding at Mount Shoal project, and that's in the Pilbara region of WA. Now, how does the expansion of the project area help in maximizing the potential opportunity there?
Well, we've already secured, previously we've secured the majority of the favorable geology in the district. Which includes the known deposits. So these further acquisitions add simply to the blue sky potential of the overall project. They give us more strike extension to explore. They give us more favorable geology to look at. So in the long term, what this is doing is just adding to the upside of the project.
I do believe you are planning an aggressive drilling campaign there. What would be the objective of this campaign? What are you hoping to find?
Well, we first of all, we're hoping to confirm what is already there. So the project has had almost 80,000 meters of historical drilling. So the primary objective of the drill campaign to start off with will be to confirm JORC compliant resources, or rather to convert the exploration target into JORC compliant resources. And from there, the second stage will be growing the resource and trying to expand on the known mineralization.
Excellent. Now, the commodity sector is witnessing uncertainties, and that's related to supply chain and macroeconomic factors. What do you think will happen to certain battery metals such as nickel in the future?
I think the landscape is becoming more complex. So the primary driver 6 months ago would have been pure and simple supply and demand. Obviously, we understood that there was going to be a surge in demand from the battery space, and supply simply wasn't keeping up, or exploration hasn't been keeping up with projected demand over the next 10 years. New, or I guess more recent, geopolitical uncertainties are adding a new element and a new dimension to this whole story right now. So critical elements such as PGEs, such as nickel, are definitely going to see a disruption in the market, see a disruption in the supply, and there's going to be a drive to try and define new resources to ensure that we do see a consistent supply to the market over the medium and long term. Again, having an advanced nickel copper PGE deposit in the Pilbara really is something that we think is going to be a driver for value for Raiden in the long term.
And if we could talk about palladium, that's a significant contributor to the value at Mount Shoal. Where do you see the palladium price in the medium term?
Absolutely. Just to mention, when Mount Shoal was being drilled out, palladium price was $300 an ounce. So right now it's well over $2,000 an ounce. It seems to be consistently staying over $2,000 an ounce. So it's really reframed the entire deposit in terms of the value which it's contributing to the overall Mount Shoal project from an economics point of view. Again, I think if we are taking into consideration the disruption in supply from a geopolitical point of view, which we may see in the short to medium, potentially even in the long term, we think the palladium price will stay relatively steady where it's at. There are only so many geographical regions which are producing significant amounts of palladium these days. So, we think we're pretty safe with the prices where they're at. And even if they do retract somewhat, it's unlikely that they will retract to the historical lows, such as when the project was being drilled out.
If we can move across to the other side of the world now, Raiden owns an array of highly prospective assets in Bulgaria and Serbia. What does this mean for shareholders and the company?
Well, first of all, we're drilling right there. Right now, we're drilling our Vuzel project. It's a low sulfidation epithermal gold prospect in Bulgaria. It's been defined by a series of trenching campaigns over the last 20 years. The main prospect's never been drilled, so it's a very exciting drill campaign. I would encourage your viewers to go onto our website and find out a little bit more about this fantastic prospect. But I think what that does is it provides the shareholders with exposure to discovery. So while we are moving and advancing on our Mount Shoal project, which is an advanced project, and we're hoping to be advancing this through into study phase, hopefully within the first 12 to 18 months. Shareholders also have exposure to an exciting discovery, which always, reframes the company and has the potential to re-rate the value as well.
And just finally, where would you like to see the company in 12 months from now?
We would like to see the value at Mount Shoal project realized with resources confirmed. We'd like to prove up further upside potential of that project and hopefully a discovery at the same time from one of our projects throughout the portfolio.
Well, let's hope you have a very exciting year ahead. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you. And if you missed any part of that chat, you can catch the full interview on our YouTube channel, kalkinemedia. I'm Rachel, reminding you to stay apprised and invest wise with Kalkine.